Hey Dan, how you doing? How's everyone doing today? I've had a long day. I know. It's a surprise. Didn't schedule it. But I'm here. I'm in my shop though. So we'll wait till a couple other people get on. We're doing okay. Dan, we had I got presents today. I did. I got a lot of presents. Yeah, they are, but unfortunately got to pay for presents. So, you know, unless you're talking about you're just in a room. So, yeah, I had a little bit of a issue with one of my presents today. Mr. Baker, how are you, sir? How are you? And I know this is a little bit of a impromptu one, but I figure I would get on. I had a good day and I'm happy. I'm really happy today. I got a lot of boxes. Lots of boxes. So, well, and I can start by saying that I got a good portion of my shop delivered today. So I'm quite happy about that. Well, be careful, Mr. Baker, and hope your day's going well. I wish I had you delivering my stuff today. It would have probably ended up a little bit better. But I'm not really expecting a whole lot of people to get on tonight because, it's Tuesday. It's not a night I'm normally on. But, I was excited. I got, I don't know, toys, I guess you could say. As you guys could see from the picture, I got some of my Powermatic stuff in. I am very, very happy about that. But I am very, very unhappy about some of it. None that I received. But let's see. Gear says, "Sorry, buddy, out eating with the wife. Can't stay. Just wanted to hit the like and say have a great evening, everyone." Well, thank you very much. Gear, greatly appreciated. Yeah, I had a little bit of a problem with a delivery company. And quite frankly, the biggest problem is if you look around my shop, that one right there, top and bottom, that is my joiner, my 54HH. It's my 6-inch helical head joiner. And then this beauty right here, let's get it in all of its gloriness. This is my 20-inch planer, but it's not fully together yet. Your real estate whisperer, hello, how are you? I'm getting by. I had a little bit of an issue with a delivery company today, or lack thereof a delivery company. I got my planer in today. I got my joiner in. I got my bandsaw in. My dust collector is on its way. So I knew I wasn't going to get that today. And then they came in, they did all the measurements and fitment for all the dust collection, duct work, and all that kind of stuff, and all my blast gates and all that I need. But my biggest problem is, I don't know if you guys look around. Well, that right there, that is what I use to get these machines in. And I'll tell you, this one right here is 1,000 pounds. Oh my God, it sucked. And thank you to everybody that watches my videos. There's 3 people that showed up to help me, one of which was my cousin, and 2 of them were people I work with. I couldn't have done it without them. Phenomenal. And then back here, I have, let's see if I can get in there. I have my Laguna BX14, which this is backwards for you, but I got the BX14. That is an amazing saw. I am very happy with my choice with that. I don't have them together yet. There will be videos. The only reason that you see the planer in the form that it is now is, honestly, the only thing I did was put half the handle on. And that was mainly so I could lower the head down so it wasn't so top heavy trying to get it in the basement. And I didn't video that because, trust me, at 1,000 pounds, I couldn't censor the whole video. Let's put it that way. But I love it. It is going to be wonderful for cutting boards. So let me go back here. I know I'm rambling on. Dan says, hi to Gear. Your Real Estate Whisperer says, hi Gear, Dan and Edge. Dan says, your Real Estate Whisperer says, I think my granddad had one like that. I'll tell you, the Powermatic planers are awesome. The old, like their old table saws, the 60 series, great. This thing's on wheels and it don't move. And for some reason, my phone's still vibrating. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I probably hurt your ears. Dan says, I believe that. Courtney says, hi, cheese fries are done. Ooh, cheese fries. I'm having cheese fries. I guess I did something good today. Oh, Dan says, cheese fries. Courtney says, hi to Dan. Tundra Whisperer, what's going on? Give me the tool scoop. All right. Well, TW, I'll start with the bad news. And let me just start by saying I have my planer. I have my joiner. I bought, I bought a Laguna BX14. I got that. My Oneida is back ordered, so that'll be on its way. But I had somebody come in and they have everything ready. So when the dust collector comes in, they'll come in and install all the ducting for me. So there's all the good news. But the bad news is my table saw. I'm so disappointed. First off, when I ordered it, it was coming in through Acme Tools because they were the only one that had any. The PM2000 and 2000Bs were literally on back order or out of stock until the end of March. Acme Tools had some, so I'm like, all right, I'll order it from them. I got all my other stuff from Woodcraft, which, by the way, phenomenal. They are great. I asked them questions about even the diameter of the motor on my dust collector. They called them, they got it, they did everything they needed to. Woodcraft is awesome. If you guys need anything woodworking, please go check them out. If you're in my area, check out the one in Downingtown or the one in Newark, Delaware. Both of them are phenomenal places. I worked with the one in Newark and a guy named Corey. He was phenomenal. If he didn't have an answer, he gave me to somebody else that had the answer. Everything else, a lot of it got delivered out of Downingtown. And they were great. I told them my table saw is getting delivered this day. I have a window this big. Can you fit it? And they're like, you know what? We can. And they made it happen. So they are phenomenal people. They're great. You'll see a video of unloading it actually into my driveway, and some of me unloading some of the machines in. But unfortunately, Acme Tools uses YRC as a delivery company. And if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, and I think I posted it, but my table saw was laying on its side, pinned up against the wall. The extension tables and the miter gauge all pinned against the wall. Boxes were bent. And I'm like, I don't want this. I didn't spend that much money for that. I want a new saw, and I want it to run like a new saw. This will not, so I don't want it. And the guy's like, well, help me stand it up. So I went over there. I'm like, I'm like, no, we're not lifting it up. It's 600 pounds. And he was like, oh, okay. So he called the hub and he went back. And then they called me. But meanwhile, I was already on the phone with Powermatic. And they're like, no, that's not the quality we ship out. Do not accept that. Yeah, I know, TW. And I even put that in my complaint with Acme Tools saying don't ship YRC because they suck. And I've had issues with them before. That's why my job doesn't use them, because the loss was extraordinary. So I'm like, as soon as they said, oh, it's YRC, I'm like, oh, yeah, like that. So, and everything else went fine. I mean, granted, the planer came in. It was a beast. I had to get 3 other people to help me, but everybody came together. I got to buy a lot of people lunch at work tomorrow, but that's fine. But, yeah, I don't have my table saw, which is the main part of my shop. I mean, how am I supposed to do anything without my table saw? That's one of the reasons I wanted to get Powermatic, is for the table saw and the planer. I mean, I could have probably skimped on a joiner, but, you know, it's like, come on. Tundra Whisperer says, YRC sucks. I'll never use them again. I always ask who the shipper is before I buy. They are horrible. Well, see, the problem is, at the time that I ordered my 2000B, I couldn't get a 2000 because they don't make them anymore. There are none. Unless I get a used one. The 2000B, at the time that I ordered it, I could only find like 3 for sale in the United States. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, all right. So I ordered it. And then when we went through the whole shipping process, I'm like, I already paid for it. I'll give it a try. They were trying to drive a 53-foot trailer down a residential road. Then they're like, oh, we'll just shorten it up to a 40-foot one. That'll work. And then they didn't have a drop gate. Then when they got the drop gate, the guy had to offload one to the other. Then the other driver was bitching and complaining the whole time he was here. And it was knocked over. And I'm like, I don't need this. I just walked away from him, and I unloaded my ramps, and I came in the house. I'm like, I'm going to do something that I really don't want to do. So I'm walking away right now. And I am really upset. I mean, I'm happy that I got my planer, though. I'm really happy. Can't use any of my tools because I don't have 230 in the basement, but I am very happy I got them. And trust me, this 209HH, yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. This thing is 1,000 pounds. Ridiculous. But we got it in. Courtney says, crap, what the heck? What the heck? Did I buy them? LOL. Tundra Whisperer says, they lost my drill press and it took 6... Yeah, I remember you saying that. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. As soon as the guy walked away, I got on the phone with Powermatic. I'm like, listen, they just showed up. The saw was on its side. What do I do? And they're like, refuse it. That's not how we ship stuff. And I'm like, all right, fine. So, I mean, Powermatic was great about it. I mean, they sent, by the time I got off the phone with Powermatic, I there was already an email to Amazon. By the time I got off the phone with Amazon, they already had something sent over to Acme Tools. Now guys, sorry about that. I just want to say none of this has anything to do with Powermatic. It's all the shipping companies. Everything I got from Woodcraft that was Powermatic, which, by the way, in Downingtown and Newark, the Delaware and the Philadelphia-ish, awesome. They worked great, did everything I needed. It was the shipping companies. Everything I got from Woodcraft showed up, dropped, perfect. You guys will see the video. But the ones that were shipped to me through YRC, which is just my table saw, I don't have. Which sucks. Yeah. Courtney's even mad and she don't...
The guy was a jerk.
Yeah, he was a D-bag.
I was ready for things to pop off. I was like, Brian,
yeah,
take a deep breath. It's not worth it.
Let's see. Where are we?
Tundra Whisperer wants to know if you're going to finish the drywall, Ben.
Oh, finish the drywall?
You mean take it off and then put it back on?
Yeah.
That's what he just did, was take it off.
No,
It was finished.
There was
looked like that.
There was plywood up there. Painted plywood. Yeah.
Your dad thought it was drywall. I'm just saying.
Yeah, my Dan says I only use YRC only on things that don't matter. Yeah, well, $4,000 table saw matters to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why it says use it, a legit company.
Yeah, exactly. And I even put in my return for Amazon saying that their delivery company sucks. They need to pick another one, and I want expedited shipping at charge to them, not to me. I mean, they already bitched about using a drop gate to deliver when I put that in the delivery instructions when I ordered it.
Yeah.
And they tried hitting me for delivery. I'm like, no, that's the whole reason I went with Amazon. Then Tundra Whisperer says, table saw is the heart and soul of a shop too. I fully agree. Most people figure out where the table saw is going and then design the shop around it. I fully agree. And the guy that came in to do the dust collection, he looked at it and he's like, where's your table saw and then the planer? Everything else we can work around. And I said, they're going right next to each other, so you can wire it if you want to. And I just put the blast gates on. And he's like, you know what? I think I can come up with something for you, and I think you'll be very happy. I don't know how happy I'll be until I get the price. Courtney says, Tundra Whisperer, YRC does suck. The guy was so rude to Brian, made him feel like it was his fault. Yeah, he did, but I really handled myself well. I did.
Only a few curse words.
Yeah, there was only a couple 4-letter words.
And they were to yourself.
Yeah, and it was when I was talking to myself about them. So
right next to him.
Yeah, but at least I wasn't looking at the guy and saying, your company frickin' sucks, you do. No, I was walking away, I'm like, frickin' YRC sucks, that's why I don't get mother bitch. Yeah. So, yeah. So the guy couldn't say that I was mad and saying anything to him because I wasn't directing it to him. I'm like, my inner monologue sucks. Can't control the volume of my voice.
Wow.
So, yeah, kind of like that. Yep, hold your ground, Brian. Expect professional service for what you pay. You know what? And that's the funny thing. I called Powermatic. I'm like, so what should I do? Should I receive it and you guys send a tech in to verify it? And they're like, oh, no, don't take it. That's not what we ship. Our stuff should be upright, wrapped, and looking good. You should get it like it was from a showroom. That's what it should look like. And I'm like, well, alrighty then. I guess I'm not taking that one. So, and the worst part is it's sitting 6 miles from my house right now.
Cry.
I will cry. A whole freaking river.
Oh my goodness.
Dan says, That's awesome service. You know what? They were all good. Everybody for the return process so far has been awesome. You know, I don't really care about YRC holding dock space because, quite frankly, they probably have a whole building for it.
Like Best Buy does.
Yeah. Oh my God. We went to Best Buy looking for appliances. They like had a whole row for it. And
more of like it lined the entire outside of the building.
yeah, and it wasn't even like it was like little stuff. It's like handles ripped off, door was like creased in a V. I'm like, oh my God. Drive a forklift much? Good customer service goes a long way, says your real estate whisperer. You are correct. Very correct. Even if I got screwed on the shipping and they took care of me, it would be completely different.
Yep.
But the way this douchebag was, no.
No. That was zero professionalism.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, can you help me pick it up? I'm like, it's a 600-pound machine. No, I've already picked up 3 of them today. I'm tired. You know, it's like, what the hell? Pick it up yourself. Mr. Baker says, hello, Courtney.
Hello.
And so does your real estate whisperer. She's like, yo, Courtney.
Oh, hello.
Tundra Whisperer says, yeah, just wondering how far you were going to take the walls, if they were going to be finished drywall and painted. Just a tip. Painted out walls with bright white paint really help brighten things up. You know what? I'm definitely going to do that, but I don't know what I want to do with the floor, but I think I want black and red checkers. But it's going to be in them foam pads.
It's your shop.
Exactly. Stay upstairs. But as you can see over on, sorry guys, as you can see on this side, that's where all the plumbing and sewer is. So that's actually, it's not going to get rerouted, but it will be getting redone. Because there's a couple little leaks, but they're all going to get done and be a little bit more common. And then that goes into my bathroom. And then over here is the tool I think I might need later, but I don't have it now. I'll see how things work out area. It's a little like alcove. Let me see if you... Yeah, there you go. You can see it a little bit better there. That's a... It's probably about 4 foot by 6 foot. And then I have that whole area over there. And that's an 8-foot sheet of plywood. So I have that whole area. So I do have a fairly decent... Haha, I'm back. And I'm seriously 2 foot from my router with higher speed. So I mean, that it's going to work out well. My floor plan design is over there. I am going to be having that as my miter station going along that whole wall. And then where my miter saw is already right over there. That's where I'm going to put the dust collection for my miter saw and my lathe, because I'm going to use that little delta one there, because quite frankly, miter saws and lathes, you really can't dust collect all that well. The lathe, it all shoots back in your face. So, I mean, unless you have the dust collector behind you on like a hood, they're pointless except for sanding, which is the part you really need because of the microns. So, but that wall behind us, that was the wall I was considering moving back 4 feet for the lathe, but I realized the lathe fits pretty good there.
Yes, it does.
And
so more craft room space for me.
And if you see, TW, that is my DVR motor. So let me turn you around. So,
all right, air quotes, short live. I'm gonna go upstairs.
Remember, you were asking me about the DVR motor? Well, there you go. This is my DVR motor. And this thing is amazing. And you know what it's like to put a wonderful finish on something at 100 RPM? That is going to be great for me when I do, when I do super glue finishes. It's going to be amazing. Not to mention, it has presets for speed. And as you guys, this thing is almost instant. It has braking on it and everything. I love that motor. And oh my God, is it going to make things so much more efficient when I start like production stuff. All right, let me get back here. Yeah, that motor is awesome, TW. I love it. Another tip: a dark floor will steal light, but make your own. Always fun to move into new space when it was given. The last bay to expand is an awesome remodel for shop space. You know what? Hey Eddie, how are you? Oh yeah, it definitely. TW, to get back to your question a little bit ago, yeah, it definitely fell over because they tried delivering it with a 40-foot trailer with a drop gate, and I'm like, dude, you're at 13 feet. You need like 11 feet to come down my road. So they butted up against each other with the two drop gates. They moved it over to a box truck, format. And then the guy was like, oh, when I came off the highway, I couldn't slow down. I'm like, dude, you're driving a truck. Why the hell aren't you slowing down to take a turn? And now you just ruined a $4,000 saw. So yeah, the guy was a D-bag. Yeah, Dan, that motor is very quiet, and that thing will ramp up to 3,600 RPMs like it's nothing. Oh my God, it's like a Tesla. It's phenomenal. Yes, TW, Cherry does make for good bowls, depending on what you want. The good thing about Cherry is you can get a good oil finish on it for like salad bowls and stuff, and it could be usable. And it takes minimal effort because Cherry finishes very well, as you know. And honestly, the grain doesn't really raise much like in a lot of the other, kind of like a Purple Heart, how the grain doesn't raise that much. It's the same thing. You don't have the same issue that you have with like maple or walnut where it gets real fuzzy. So the Cherry does help a little bit with making bowls. Yeah, I would, TW, I would definitely make you one. My lathe has a maximum capacity of 16 inches. So actually, I'm looking for a box. I'll be right back, guys. Do you guys remember that maple bowl? The video, it was called A Rough Turning. Well, here you go. You see how much this bowl warped and how it's not flat and even? That's why we twice turn wet bowls, is because they distort, and you can even see on the bottom how this is oval now where I had the chuck. So because they distort so much, you leave about 10 to 12%, and you go back, you return them, and then once they get down to about 6% or 8% moisture, and then you don't have an issue with them warping or cracking or anything. But I love, you can see all the spalting in this and everything. This is the size bowl that I can make on my lathe, TW. This is a 14 by 4. Basically, as long as it's under 16, I can actually spin my head a little bit. I can go 45 and 90 degrees on mine and use an outrigger, but I don't have an outrigger for it. They're like $400. And I really don't see me being comfortable turning anything over 18 inches or so to need an outrigger. So, but yes, I would definitely consider that. Do you want it to be one solid? Do you want it to be layered and laminated? I can definitely do that. No problem. Courtney says, yes, cherry is good. Courtney's favorite is walnut. Mine also. I love walnut. Dan says, cherry. Yeah, 14 inches a pretty good size bowl. But like I said, I can go up to 16 inches. So probably like 15 and a half is more conservative. But now that I have the BX14, I can put it up there. I can cut around the template, and I'll be able to get more like 15 3/4 or so. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I just really got to get up and running. I have to get the electric ran down here. I still have a huge amount to do. Rennie, how are you, sir? The structural build is up to you. You know better. Well, honestly, they'll all be stable. It just depends on if you want different grain patterns going around, because I would actually rotate them every 45 degrees and probably use 4. So that way the grain would kind of look S going down the side of the bowl. It would kind of go on an angle on the bowl. Or I could just get you a 4 or 5 inch blank that's like 15 inches. I could do either. Just let me know what you want. Rennie says he always says that he's a solid 12 inches. What are you talking about again? Well, we are talking about bowls, not girth there, buddy. Courtney says, Rennie, so does Dan. Rennie's saying hi to everybody. So, and also tells us Horn Pub is up. So Rennie, did, now I know we were discussing the other day about, real tools. So, what do you think? You think that's real enough for you? How about that? So, now just letting you know how big, normal planers are. This is a 14-inch bowl. What do you think? Think I can do some damage with that thing? Now, mind you, I can cut a 20-inch slab and take 30/32 of an inch off in every pass with this thing. And yes, I got the helical head. I need to show you guys this. This helical head is a monster. Oh my God. This is like wood porn. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Let me see if I can get some light in there for you. Because this helical cutting head is amazing. TW, do you have a helical head? I think we discussed that you have a helical head, but do you have it on both of your machines, your planer and your joiner? Yes, wood porn. It's a real thing. It really is. And I am trying my best to navigate through all this crap I got around here. Oh, geez. Okay, I got a flashlight, guys. Here we go. All right. Now that is a cutting head. That thing is ridiculous. Oh my God. Just look at that. Man, that thing. I gotta tell you, just imagine planing something and coming out at 220 grit sandpaper. Phenomenal. I can't wait till I can use it. And Rennie, for what you said, to plane something, I don't have 220 service down here. This is a big boy. This is a 5 horsepower motor on this. TW, too late for that. Sorry. Just getting it in the basement was enough for me. No, Rennie, I haven't ran it yet. Now, TW, are you looking at switching over to the Bird Shillix heads, or I know there's pros and cons for both, but I mean, depending on what you use and what you do the most, I know what you do, but like for me, to do different types of grain, end grain, and everything, it's a phenomenal finish on it. It's ridiculous. No, actually, TW, I have somebody running me a 100 amp sub panel for the shop, and all the machine. Now here's the funny part. All of my machines are 220, except for my joiner, but that has a 6-inch helical head on it also. That thing is going to be ridiculous. I think that'll take an 1/8 inch per pass. So I can almost joint one board in one pass. Almost every time. Yeah, Rennie. It's a big boy. They say go small or go big or go home. Yeah, I want oversized. Yeah, an extension cord to my neighbor's stove. Yeah, sure, I'll do that, Rennie. Dan says the neighborhood lights will dim. Yeah, maybe the street lights, possibly. I'm thinking about H blades for the PJ 882 joiner. Change the entire cutter head out. You know what? And I wasn't sure. I actually ordered the regular 54, the 54A. And I'm like, you know what? If I join it, I'm not going to, I don't really need it that much and this and that. And then everybody I talk to at Woodcraft, they're like, really? $400 is stopping you from getting a Helix head? I'm like, well, if I need it, I'll get it. And he's like, yeah, you'll get it for $1,500 later. I'm like, okay, you sold me. Order it. I'm like, all right. I mean, $300 won't even buy the inserts. Courtney says, is that a wireless power cord? Yeah, ships after you pay. Tundra Whisperer says, it's about $500 to convert, but worth it to me. You know what? And that's the thing. Now, in your case, actually having straight knives for a lot of the stuff that you do on a planer, I might prefer them rather than for what I do. Because I need to go back and sand. There's something about that real nice long blade shearing motion that you get with a long blade, but then you get that real clean, like, it really depends. I was really on the fence about getting straight knife or helical for the joiner, but the planer, it was a no-brainer for me. But cutting with the grain, not doing any end grain and all nice side grain type stuff, a long blade would probably be very efficient for you, and you would get less tear out and less fuzz compared to running carbide inserts. So I can understand what you mean by there's a difference between the both. And there always is. Yeah. Well, there you go. There it is. I'm going to enjoy all of them once I get them up and running. The 54 is nice. I was considering a 60, but for the different things that I'm going to have to joint, I'm not really going to need it that often. To have for an extra few $100s for that much more, I'm okay without having it, honestly. Renaissance says tools have new 220 cordless extension cord. Send straight cash, get cord later. Exactly. Look like the neighborhood from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Oh no, I'm just going to black it out completely. They're done. There's not going to be any flickering and go out. As soon as I turn it on, done. My dust collector is 3 horsepower. The planer is 5. So I'm going to run 8 horsepower and kick them on at the same time. Yeah, there's going to be some damage, I'm sure. I'm quite sure. That's it, Ed. You said it right on. For my use and what I build, the straight blades are good for the planer. They are. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people say, oh, but the carbide, it cuts better, it cuts smoother. They don't really understand on end grain or like surface rather than, side grain. They don't really understand. And if you use it on quarter sawn, you still got to go back and sand. If you're using it on end grain, you got to go back and sand. But if you're using it on side grain, there is a tremendous difference between the two. They all require sanding, but one leaves less fuzz depending on what cut of wood you have. It does. It's ridiculous. Dan says cheese fries are getting cold. Yeah, they probably are. Renaissance Man says, I just want to hear it run. It probably wants to suck wood through it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I actually want to show you guys something. Here is the gauge on the side. So, let me turn it around so I can see what I'm showing you. This thing can run a 20-inch by 8-inch piece of white oak at 0.93 thickness removal. It is ridiculous. And as you guys can see, I haven't cleaned the baby up yet. If you look, I still have the plastic coating on all the writing and everything. I'm just in love with it, and I haven't even used the damn thing yet. Well, Rennie, how about this? When I get the shop done, you can come over and we'll put your wood through it. How's that sound? Dan Soderholm says, Runman, it might shoot out the other side. Well, see, that's the funny thing. It has anti-kickback blade things on it. So if you look at this side right up here, these, as you feed it in, they go in, and the other side is knurled. So the wood won't shoot out, and they kind of have that on both sides almost. The other side is just a heavier padded rubber roller. But they thought of everything when they made these. So I'm very happy. Tundra Whisperer says, when you for all those up, make sure the house is fastened to the foundation. Yeah. Yeah, when I fire up all of them, make sure it's... yeah, it's a lot of power at one time. But the good thing is I have a remote for my dust collection, not my blast gates. I'm not gonna splurge like that, TW. But I did get the one that has the remote on off. So I'm going to be very happy with that too. The last thing I need to get is air filtration. I'm not sure what to go with on that. I was looking at the Powermatic units, but I'm not sure about them. I definitely need your help on that one, TW. Um, yeah, TW. Actually, um, here we go. We'll give you a walk around because I went to the wrong side. There you go. It has a ton of feed speeds. Um, it does run pretty fast. You can run it really fast to take a skim pass, or you can run it really slow and really hog material off. I think it has 4 different gears. So it's pretty damn amazing. Renaissance says his electric meter will spin like a roulette wheel. Yeah, so you guys need to buy stuff from me. You first, Rennie. Send cash, get gift later. Dan Soderholm says, TW, for real? I could see it used from North Carolina. You might be able to, yeah. You might be able to hear it too. This thing is, actually, it's not really that bad. Having the Scheelix head on it, when it's actually running, it's not that bad. The decibel reading on it is fairly low at like 10 feet. At 10 feet, this thing is significantly quieter than a straight blade. That is the one big positive of having carbide inserts, is it does cut a little bit cleaner on most woods over straight blades, but how quiet it is, it's not 4 blades constantly banging into the wood. It goes and it kind of hums more than a bang. So rather than a rod knock, it's more like, an engine running. But it is ridiculous. By any means, it's ridiculous. It's probably way more than I needed. Right, Courtney? I want to drive through it and get a trim on my haircut. Honestly, you can probably wiggle through the gap in this planer. I wouldn't recommend you doing that, but Boise City is here. Hey, Dan, how are you? Hey, guys, sorry I'm late. My sinuses are acting up, and I'm not feeling the best right now. Dan says, Courtney says, Dan, the cheese fries are gone. I ate them. Just kidding. They are cold, though. I'll be up to get them. This was supposed to be a short one, but I'm excited. Dan says, Courtney. Dan says, Dan. Tundra Whisperer says, nice. I originally had the remote with my Oneida too. It worked well. And that wasn't even an option I wanted. But the V3000 comes with it. So, and the blast gates, if you guys, I'll bring you over here. Basically, right there where those racks are, coming out this way is going to be where my table saw is. The dust collector is going to be in that corner. And then my joiner is going to go right here. So, in theory, what's going to happen is the dust collection is going to come from over there, come up, and then it's going to go through the rafters and then come down. And then it's going to go to all 3 machines. So, it's going to be a lot cheaper than a lot of things that I thought I would have to pay for, because it's going to literally only go like 20 feet and it's only a couple elbows. And on that side over there where it elbows to go across the ceiling to come over, they're going to put a floor vacuum attachment in for me. Not for the floor vacuum attachment. I'm going to use it as that in the beginning. But later on, if I decide to put my bandsaw on that dust collection, I will have a port to be able to put it into. So that way I don't need them to come out and re-engineer my system. So kind of thinking ahead a little bit. Boise City says, hey, Courtney. Hey, Dan Soderholm. Oh, yours has 3 speeds. Nice. Yeah, this thing is ridiculous. I mean, it can either sound like a jet or a big truck. I mean, it's It's nice. If you look up the 209HH, it literally has everything you would ever need in a planer. I'm like Rennie. I'm excited. I just want to put something through it, and I can't. I put a new garage door opener up this weekend. You have been one-upped. Yeah, okay. Did you carry a 1,000-pound machine down 3 steps? Gotcha. Boise City. Well, guys, I have some good news. After months, I have been able to get it fixed. The gasket is fixed on my car, and after it broke on me. Well, that's good. Glad that you have somewhat more reliable transportation than what you did. Dan said, Dan, that's great. Renaissance says, I may be interested in a dining room table. That's fine, Rennie. Just remember, $20K. Remember that one? 20,000. But yeah, get in touch with me. I can definitely do it. We might want to work something out because I need a bathroom done. It's good to know people in low places. Courtney says, right, it's always more than you need. Yep, just 6 inches. What is the max thickness capacity? On this is 8, a whopping 8 inches. This thing is ridiculous. I can get old, old barn timber, and I can refinish all 4 sides with not a problem. But I do have to say, sorry, Street Bike. I thought I got away from them. I do have to say I will be getting the digital readout like you have, TW. It's going to make things a lot easier. But I mean, in the beginning, you just start with, visual. And then after that, you gradually bring it up anyway. But the digital one is really good. Like, prime example, if I did make a table for Rennie, it's really nice to be able to set a 0 so that they're all the same thickness. And that's where the digital is very beneficial over just going by the gauge, because that'll walk. And I love that this has the locks on the post. So that's going to be another good thing that I like with it. Boise City says, solder home. Yep. That is great to hear. Well, I kind of have to get the car fixed after I found out that the car was leaking more oil than I was keeping in the oil pan. So I got to fix it. Yeah, you have to fix your car. I mean, you depend on it. I mean, regardless of what the problem is, even if it's a little thermostat or a relay, you got to take care of it. What is the access like in your basement? Do you have any outside door leading into it? Well, TW, here you go. Tell me how annoying the street bikes are. But TW, that's my driveway. So, let me see. There's my shop.
On street bikes.
Yeah.
Get them.
Brick holes.
Jerk off.
So I just walk right in. And boom. There I am. How amazing is that? I mean, that is a huge benefit. Literally back my truck up 5 feet later, I'm in the shop running boards through. Gotta love it. Renaissance says, I'm excited and it's not even my planer. Did I mention I installed a garage door opener? No more manual opening for me. I'm a ball. So yeah, I am really excited. I can't wait to get all this stuff up and running. The only problem is when you get all of it up and running, guess what you have to do? You got to buy material to make stuff out of. And boy, is it expensive. Because I just picked up Cherry for a tabletop that I actually have to do for somebody else. It's actually a desktop for one of my friends. Dan says, Run Man balling out. Yeah, he is. I mean, he splurged. But why do you need that? You can't possibly park that truck in the garage, Ren. Courtney says, Hey Dan, Idaho. Hope you feel better. Tundra Whisperer says, What are those going for these days? My planer? 45. Not cheap at all. But here's the thing. Since I bought them in tax-free Delaware, I saved 7% right off the bat. And they told me, wait for 4 or 5 days to pay for it. So when I paid for it February 1st, I got the 10% off. So I got 17% off all my machines. Phenomenal. I saved so much money. I mean, I did have to pay delivery, but to deliver all of them, it was $250, which isn't bad at all. So I'm happy. Boise City says, thanks, Courtney. Yeah, the seasons are changing around here, and when that happens, my sinuses go haywire. Yeah, mine do all the time. Who would have ever thought somebody that is allergic to dust would open a wood shop? Pretty freaking stupid, quite frankly. But it's what I like. Just straight exhaust your dust collection outside. Neighbors will love you. You know what? And that's the funny thing. I think it's a 6-inch dust collection port on this planer. It is ridiculous. I think it requires like 900 CFM. So, I mean, that's pretty extensive. But I think I have like 2,200 on the dust collection I'm getting. I'll be able to run my joiner, planer, and table saw and be like almost dustless with my dust collector. Especially with the short run I have. It's going to be ridiculous. If I like walk by, it'll like get stuck. Sawdust is man glitter? Kinda. I'm not going to have much of that because I have an excellent dust collection system coming in. I can open my garage door with my phone. Can your planer open my garage door? No. And you know what? I really don't want my planer to be Bluetooth. That's kind of scary, quite frankly. Bailey the Psycho Dog, LOL. Yeah, you heard him, Dan? Dan says, carry your wood straight in. Exactly. It's seriously like right there. So I'm happy with that. Nice that the table saw wings come off, LOL. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm going to make a video of cleaning all these up and putting all these together. Because actually one of the favorite people that I like watching on YouTube is the Wood Whisperer. Him and his wife, Nicole, they're like the me and Courtney on like a higher scale. And they know so much more than we do. But they're great people. Renaissance says, just cut down trees. People don't care. Hey, got to make a living, right? Boise says, come to find out, it's a simple oil filter gasket adapter. The part literally cost me $13. That's what all your problem was, $13. I would have sent that to you. The Insider Home. I think I will make a sign for Brian regarding man glitter. There you go. N3QDs, he said, I just got here. What happened? Well, what happened was I got that baby in the day. I got that baby in the day. Oh, and yes, I did get the 220, 2.5 horse BX14. And oh my God, I love that bandsaw. And I didn't even take it out of the box. Look how big this thing is. This is my hand. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But I didn't get my bandsaw. I mean, I didn't get my table saw because YRC, they're all douchebags. Dan says, please do, Courtney. And also says, hello, N3QDZ. Thunder Whisperer says, Edge, you need material. Come by my place. I have 14 by 11 wood shed stuffed with plywood and hardwoods. Wow, now you got me going to California. Matt says, Dan the man. You're going to make money with them. Yeah, I am, Rennie. I hope. I really hope so, because if not, Courtney's going to kick my ass. But I will say, for the price of all these machines, I am going to redo all the kitchen cabinets myself. I'm going to make our kitchen table. I'm going to make I'm thinking I'm going to make our bathroom vanity. So by the time I make all them for what I would, as I was saying, for the cost of the materials in these machines, it would be about the same as if I had a custom kitchen made. And then by the time I do a custom, wall unit for TVs and everything and all that kind of stuff and end tables, these machines are going to pay for themselves over the next year or so. But yeah, I would like to make money off of them. I fully agree. Let me get back to where I was. Tundra Whisperer says, I keep a good supply of material on hand to build just about any common project. And that's going to be the other thing. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, well, woodworking, it's easy. It's just a hobby. You know what? Go out and buy some Jontu or some Wenge or some Padauk or some Purple Heart or Yellow Heart or some Canary Wood. Tell me just how much of a hobby it becomes at that point when you're spending, $30, $40 a board foot. I mean, it's not cheap at all. I mean, Purple Heart is ridiculous. For a board that is, 8/4 by 6 by 5, it's like $150. So it's not that much of a hobby-ish at that point. Renaissance Man says, hey, Matt, what's been going on? N3QDZ says, Matt's Basement Workshop is good too. Redman, what's up? Oh, mother of God. I will spoon you to use them tools. Matt, that's creepy. But you are close. So if you want to get together on a project, let me know. You too, Ren. Let me know. And TW, if you want, if you're ever, 2,000 miles away from home. Rennie says, look at that beast. Tundra Whisperer says, I love the dust covers Powermatic puts on the post. That is a nice improvement. It really is. And I think Laguna started doing their on their 16 plus. Tundra Whisperer says, no, I'm in Washington. But West Coast, right? Like Washington Northwest. Either way, still 2,000 miles. N3QDZ says, do you hear all this, Courtney Edge? I hear it. I can't wait until he makes it. Yep. Mine are money makers too. Yeah. I mean, when you purchase stuff like this, you have to have a game plan. You have to have a business, projection on what you want to do. A lot of what I want to do that's going to be kind of like my bread and butter, a lot of it's going to be cutting boards. And I'm hoping selling the said cutting boards will be able to make me enough money to be able to purchase the wood and make my labor minuscule for redoing my kitchen and bath. So that's kind of my direction. The cutting boards will pay for the wood and my labor will pay for the machines, kind of. At least that's the screwed up way I'm looking at it. Custom cup coasters is the next big thing. But you want to know what? If you batch them out for the cost, if you make them square and you do a glue up, if you can resell them and everything, if you're going, let's say you're going with a $20 an hour labor rate, by the time you get materials, even if you're using drop-offs and scraps, you literally have to make a batch of 20 in 2 hours and sell them for $8 a piece to break even. So it's real good if you make a coffee table for somebody and you give it to them as, oh, look, here's some coffee, and here's some coasters so that you don't mess up your table. You know, and to have your like name like burned in the bottom or something like that, that's where they come in good. But from a sales perspective, the only thing it does is cleans up your shop and gets rid of your scrap, quite frankly. Dan says it might be like a mechanic. It takes forever to get his own stuff done. Well, see, the difference is I really enjoy doing this. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. Maybe like a hairdresser. Just saying. Boise says, Thunder Whisper, you live in Washington. What part of Washington? Yep, just 30 miles south of Seattle. I knew you were on the West Coast. I knew that. But either way, you're still 2,300 miles away from me. But, I mean, if you're in the area, call me. If I'm at... Actually, we were going to the West Coast a lot because Courtney's family lives in Portland. So we would have been within 5 hours of you a lot. Boise City says, I live about 12 hours away from you. Your real estate whisperer says, I'm going to have to jet y'all. Well, see you later, your real estate whisperer. Everyone have a fantastic evening, she says. You also. Thank you for stopping in. Boise City says, see you, Yuru. And Courtney says, TW, Brian and I will have to visit you. See, there you go. He's in Milton, Washington. Dan's saying bye to your real estate whisperer. Tundra Whisperer, I live in Boise area of Idaho. Really, Dan? Really? Your name is Boise City. I think we have a clue where you are. Just saying. Tundra Whisperer says, Dan, I can get to Sims, Montana in 10 and a half hours. So I'm actually closer than that to you. Wow. No, that still sounds like a long drive. Heck yeah, that would be awesome, Courtney. Hey, I mean, if we go out there, we can always swing by. Maybe we'll get together and put a video together, and maybe it could be like a giveaway or something. Would that be fun? Maybe we could do something like that if I ever, which I'm sure we'll make it out there. I mean, we're going to make a point of it because Courtney's family lives out there. So, Dan says, I got to go myself. Catch you all later. And then Boise, see you later, Dan. Thank you for stopping in. Boise says, well, Tundra Whisperer, maybe one of these times we can meet up. I'd like to meet the infamous TW. Oh, well. Later, Soderholm says, Rennie Man, and deuces from Mr. Soderholm. Tundra Whisperer says, I love that drive to Montana. It's so relaxing. I bet it is. I mean, there's a lot of good viewage out there. Or scenery, shall I say. But, guys, I think I have talked enough about my new toys. I will keep an eye out because there is going to be a video for a setup and unboxing of every one of these. I'm sorry you guys didn't get it on the planer, but listen, a 1,000-pound machine gets uncrated in the driveway and brought in the house, and you're not worried about how you get it in there. You just want to be safe about it. So, that being said, guys, thank you for showing up. I will see you next time, and I will be getting videos out, but as you guys can see, I've done a lot of work, and I've been very busy. I am sorry I've been lacking in the video department, but they will all be coming out very shortly. So, guys, have a nice evening. I will see you on Sunday for my normal live, and you guys will be getting a video or two coming out this week. And thank you for stopping in. I'll see you guys.